Hi there. So, I'm going to be doing a spell today. Pure and simple, yeah? This spell will hopefully, and by hopefully, mean it will, because with spellcraft you have to think positively and affirmatively. It will help my household and my family gain a car. Now, it should be noted a few things before we get started. One, I've done pre work, pre work. I wouldn't call it prep work because, in all honesty, this is the closing of an entire spell, and I wouldn't say the beginning and middle of a spell is prep work for the end. It is part of the spell. That being said, I have saged myself. I'm already like clean and crap. I've gathered a cauldron that usually lies on my altar. I have an alleged rose opener candle and road opener oil from a New Orleans spirituality shop here in my local town. I do not live in New Orleans, so I am extremely happy to have this candle and this oil. And in my workings with it thus far, they do help. The candle, I should work on charging more. I feel like I haven't given it enough personal attention. And normally, I don't use glass um, candles, or I don't use candles that are within glass. I forget what they're called. Votive candles. I don't normally use votive candles. I think only because I don't like trying to charge them through the glass. Now, the woman who is one of the co-owners, runners of the store, offered to do it for me, but I just could not afford to pay her for her services. And to be perfectly honest, I don't blame her charging. I charge for my services. Okay, and it was a polite offer. I appreciate it. I just couldn't afford to do it at the time. So I did charge it myself, but it probably needs some more juice. I feel like that's one of those candles I need to just sit with every month and charge underneath the full moon or something. So if you don't do that as a constant practice, keeping your stuff charged and whatnot, I encourage it. Moving on. So before we actually cast a spell, I like to make sure that we have everything we need in the world. And by that, let's look at the world around us. Currently, it is March 22nd. So, by that extent, we know two things. One, spring has occurred. The first day of spring has occurred, and we are in spring. We are in the season of spring, fresh and new. Also, the first day of spring marks the beginning of Aries, the astrological sign. So the sun is in Aries. We're going to focus on sun energy. I prefer to focus on sun energy as opposed to lunar energy and stellar energy during the day. And I already think working with the sun is going to be very prosperous because this is an issue that I think solar energy will lend very well to, as well as the sun itself being within Aries right now. So let's review that. Aries energy is good for new beginnings and action. Those born in Aries, stereotypically, and I say that because nature versus nurture, y'all, stereotypically tend to be very action based people. They might not be all energetic, but they like to get stuff done. So that sign lends its energy not only to its children who were born under its sign, but to magical workings when it is drawn down. And I will do a small prayer invocation out loud. None of this is rehearsed. This video is not getting edited. First of all, I'm not great at editing videos. Second of all, I don't care to, because you don't edit a ritual once it's occurring. You perform the ritual. It's a performance. There isn't really any like okay, I'm going to start over. You can start over, but most people who do, most practitioners will say the energy just feels different working onward. When you are doing magic, when you plan, you plan. And when you perform, you perform. When you perform, there are no mistakes. You say what you say, you do what you do. And if that is not what's written down, or if that's not what you rehearse, then so mote it be. Okay? Let it go. Just do the magic, stay calm and centered. And if you're one of those people that are like, I'll have a panic attack if I mess up my spell in the middle of it, do a good bit of rehearsing and trust your intuition. In fact, go minimalist. Do as little as you can. There is a way to cast spells without talking. I found that a lot of spells work perfectly fine without you speaking. And sometimes that takes out stumbling over. It does take out stumbling over words sometimes. It does take out things such as stumbling over words and mispronouncing that just a ritual where you don't have to speak. Because guess what? Not every person on earth can talk. So witchcraft doesn't only work for people who can speak. In fact, there have been reports of people who have been paralyzed and they've done workings on the astral plane and they've manifested. And a lot of people might be like, well, that's just coincidence, or it's just coincidental that, it just so happens this person who's paraplegic can do that. Look, when parts of you don't work, other parts try to compensate. If your body don't work, your mind will compensate. Okay? At least in magic and in my experience. So with that being said, what else we got going on? Today's Friday. Friday lends a decent amount of energy to our working, but it's not really the energy that I need today. So I'm not really going to call on it. Friday's energy revolves around the planet Venus and is associated with music, dance, art, social occasions, love, and emotion. Also, female sexuality, some say. Some say that female sexuality is part of Monday, which is ruled by the moon, which has influence over the feminine cycle. But that's a whole video for another day. That being said, I'm going to draw down the sun. I'm going to ask for the favor of Aries. I'm going to ask for the power of spring and a few more things along the way. I just wanted to cover those essentials with you. And I hope to do a video later explaining more about all I've just said. But so far, we are just going to focus on a minimal candle burning, cauldron-based spell. I was going to call it an exercise, y'all. But anywho, also I'm going to do a chant. Mea Fiat. Mea Fiat is Latin for my will be done. And there are sirens getting it in my neighborhood, y'all. I apologize. I obviously can't control all of fate, or I wouldn't even need to be doing this spell right now. I would just manifest someone else's car. So let's hope that didn't get picked up too heavily over sound and that I stopped screaming to compensate for it. All right, y'all, let's get started. So I've already anointed the candle. I put a little of the road opener oil into it. I'm going to take that road opener oil, and since I'm working with sun energy, I'm going to mark the top of my head with a full circle, or my forehead, my third eye. You do not need to see all that. And what's left, I'm going to rub into my heart. Now, it is part of my particular practice to anoint my head and heart with whatever oil I'm using, if I'm using an oil at all. But not only that, but let me go ahead and reveal the little piece of art that I've done. Here it comes, y'all. So what I've did is I've drawn and painted a car, and then I cut it out and I pasted it to a piece of notebook paper, which I aptly attached with tape to a piece of black board. Now, you see a lot of scribbles around this car. Let me explain. I see you gonna keep moving. The overall spell has been going on for months because I'm not normally great at raising energy. I'm actually not that great with energy work. When it comes to feeling and sensing energy, I'm getting better. The more I do, the more I'm working, the better I'm getting. I spent a lot of my early years hoarding knowledge in the craft, so I didn't really spend it practicing energy work and techniques. I'm very much self-taught, and I was a solitary for my bad, y'all. I'm gonna just move this. I was a solitary for quite some time, and again, my practice is my own. I don't follow a specific path. I'm an eclectic witch. at its core. I consider myself to be a cottage witch because my magic works better when it's dealing with the house, and I'm a homemaker, kind of by trade, like by default trade. But that being said, let's just go ahead and begin. Well, no, I wanted to explain to y'all that I'm sorry, y'all. This is okay. We make mistakes. It is okay. I wanted to explain on the paper. You might have seen a bunch of scribbles. What I did is around the picture that I drew, and I normally wouldn't advise burning something with tape on it, but y'all bear with me. I'm asking universe for forgiveness on this one. But around it, it's basically, I'm gonna put this picture back in front of the camera so y'all can see. Around the car, there's cursive writing. In hoodoo and certain other forms of magic, you do this thing called continual writing. It has other names. So if someone knows about a different name, comment below. Just let me know. Enlighten me and enlighten my viewers. Thank you. That being said, you don't lift your pen from the paper, but you just write around the image. And that creates a circle of energy around it manifested through your writing, considering what you've written. I can't remember what I wrote because that is some sloppy writing. That is, I can't even defend that. I don't know what's going on there. But she there. It has, I see the word car at least once, so it has something to do with the car. I also included a series of other languages. When it comes to spell casting, if you speak a certain language, that's not the only language your spells have to be in. Meanwhile, if you work with a certain pantheon, they will forgive you for speaking your native tongue mostly. I don't know about all pantheons. I work with the Hellenistic with the Olympians. And I work with the ancient Greek deities, okay? Which includes, but is not limited to, the Olympians. There were other gods, goddesses, and spirits that did not reside on Olympus. All that being said, I will be working with the sun, and I will be addressing the sun through my sun deity Helios. But I will be casting my spell. There's some cats trying to get their groove on, and I'm gonna need them to not. But sorry, y'all. These cats are out of control. But yeah, so I work with the Greek gods, but I like to cast my charms. I like to say my spells in English and make them rhyme. That is my preferred method, y'all. I was raised on Charmed, so I be rhyming. But I also love Latin. I like using Latin in my spells. I'm one of them witches, so that's why I'm using the charm Mea Fiat. It is Latin again, it is Latin for my will be done. So I will say a small rhyming verbal chant for the flame, and then I'll submit it to the fire. That being said, on this paper includes a series of other languages, or other scripts, let's say that, which includes but is not limited to Enochian, Melachim, or Melachim, depending on, or Melachim, or Melachim. I'm not 100% sure. I tend to say Melachim. But Enochian, or Enochian, Melachim, Theban, which is an angelic script, and Passing the River, a script introduced to us by the late Raymond Buckland. May he rest in peace. Also English. So 5 languages essentially went into the making of this particular magical item. And this item has been on my wall. Whenever I look at it, it used to have $1 taped to it, but I needed some extra money, so I had to spend that $1. But whenever I look at it, I think about a car. I want a car. And when people come to my room and see it and they ask about it, I'm like, we need a car. So it's been collecting energy through absorbing it from the room, and us looking at it, people entering my room, my sacred space, and looking at it, and me meditating on it. So with that said, I'm going to probably chant about 9 times while it burns, because 1, I have an affinity for the number 9, and 2, the number 9 is associated with completion. And I want, normally you might think, well, you're doing a manifestation, so shouldn't you have a number correlating to bring things to you, manifest? I want this to be done. The thing is, this spell has been going. I literally am looking at like 4 cardinals, so I need to look up the meaning. They're playing on my porch. I need to look up the meaning behind cardinals. I know they're messengers. And you know what? This has nothing to do with this current video. I'm sorry, y'all. Anywho, magic is all around you. Keep your minds open. Keep your eyes open. And, well, see what there is. That being said, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take this candle and light it. I'm going to attempt to light it because I forgot I'm outdoors, you see. Even though the candle is in glass, I still need the lighter to activate so the flame will exist. Okay. Spiritus Ignis, sacred fire, bring manifest to my desire. God Helios, Sol Invictus, Spirit of the Sun, ancient God who drives his chariot across the sky, bringing day to the children of earth. I ask that you lend your power to this ritual. Aid my spell word. Grant me your power. Bless me with your aid. Spiritus Igni, sacred fire, bring manifest to my desire. My candle went out, didn't it? Yep. And see, y'all, this is why sometimes no matter how much you rehearse a spell, it's just going, you just got to ad-lib. You got to make it up as you go along. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this so I can actually view it and make sure the candle don't go out. Spiritus Igni, sacred fire, bring manifest to my desire. She gonna take a minute to burn. There she go. Mea fiat, 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 mea fiat. By all the power of land, sky, and sea, as I will it, so shall it be. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be. It is a really good sign if you just feel good after casting a spell. And for me, this is essentially the completion to a long-running spell. And there's many reasons our household has yet to get a car. That is beautiful. There's many reasons our household has yet to get a car. But I'm putting out my final energy into the universe to manifest it accordingly so that things will start to fall in favor for us to gain a car. Now you'll notice that at no point did I actually say out loud, bring me a car. I'm not asking the sun to bring me a car or any of that nature. And when I tap into the sun, I tap into the spirit of spring, the spirit of Aries, all transmuted through the sun's power. Because I'm asking the sun for power, not for an aid. I'm not petitioning the sun. That is a petition. That is a prayer to the sun to manifest something. I'm asking the sun for power so that I can manifest it. That being said, basically the sun is giving me enough energy to put the final stamp of approval on this working. And thy will be done. My will be done. Mea fiat. I appreciate y'all for joining me. This video is 20 minutes long. I've been out here for 20 minutes talking. Okay, well, that's good. Y'all will be watching 20 minutes or less worth of footage, because this may get edited because there was a little stupidity at the beginning of the video. That being said, I appreciate y'all for watching. I appreciate y'all for finding interest. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to comment on this video wherever you may see it. That being said, again, I appreciate y'all's psychic participation. Please send me some good vibes through this video. Like, come on, y'all. Everyone should have decent transportation, and we're saving money in my household. We work. Two people work outside of the house. I live in a 3-person household, and we're trying. We're really trying. We just need some help. We're doing what we can in the physical. We need some stuff to give in the astral. That being said, again, I appreciate y'all. Send me some psychic love. Like, subscribe. If this is on YouTube, if this is not posted on YouTube, because my videos might get posted in more than one location, like and do what it do. That being said, thank you very much for everything, and blessed be.